So when it comes to relationships, we're all always looking for clues when you're dating. Does this person really like me? How much do they like me? How much are they invested in me? Is this relationship really working? Women want to feel loved and men want to feel respected. We've all, or some of us, have read that book. And I think it's important to note something when it comes to disorganized attachment style, aka fearful avoidant, that here's the big clue. If you are a male and you're dating a female, a big clue that she really likes you is that she can be a little needy. I know. Nobody likes needy, clingy. We're all allergic to that word. And I wish there was a better word that we could use there. But internally, she is going to feel some neediness, some clinginess, some wanting to be with you, be around you. That's a biological factor. And newsflash, if you're not detecting any neediness, quote unquote, or clinginess, which could also be, I just want to be around you, I want to be near you, I want to connect with you. If you're not sensing any of that, even on a little bit more of a maybe not so like, because neediness and clinginess might get on your nerves. But if you're not sensing any of that, then that means that woman is not interested in you. For example, when, let's say we're at work, right? And let's say you're a woman and you can tell that there are some men who are attracted to you, who like you, who like your attention, they want to be around you. You can just tell that they, and by some of the things that they're saying, that they're attracted, they wouldn't mind being in a relationship with you. They're testing you out a little bit. And you're like, hello, and you have fun with them, you have conversations, but you don't seek them out. When they leave, you don't think about them. I mean, you enjoy talking to them, it's fun, you connect in a friendship sort of way, you may ask them for help sometimes, or you just talk about things that you can both relate to, but the female disorganized attachment style doesn't feel a neediness or a need to cling, or I'm missing him, or let me make an excuse to come around him type thing. If she's not coming up with excuses to be around you, or excuses to come and say hello or to see what you're doing, then that's a big clue that disorganized attachment style female is just not that into you. So even though you may think that neediness and clinginess is a terrible thing, if you really are attracted to a woman and she's not trying to be around you, she's not acting that certain way, like when she hasn't seen you in a while or seen you in a few days, and she's not trying to call you or get your attention, and you just walk by, hello, goodbye, see you later, she's not trying to reach out to you, then even though you may look at neediness and clinginess as a bad thing, when it comes to disorganized attachment style, and really honestly probably the majority of females, because we have that attachment hormone, if she's not acting at least a little needy and clingy, she's probably not interested in you. When a fearful avoidant female connects with a male that she's really interested in and she spends time around him, she feels filled up, only to be depleted again when she's away from him, and then the cycle goes all over again. That's just the way it goes, like it or not. And when she's spending time with him, she's enjoying him, they're having fun together, they're having conversations, they're around each other. She feels very filled up. It quiets her anxious side. But then when she's away from him and they haven't had any interactions, no phone calls, no connections, then that empty feeling comes back. And she needs to recharge that by being around him again. Now here's the kicker. Fearful avoidant does not like their anxious side. It doesn't feel good to them. They feel very ashamed of it. It feels embarrassing. They don't like the way it feels because it feels very out of control. So they will do whatever they have to do to get rid of that feeling. They're not going to stay in that anxious energy for long. At least a more seasoned, disorganized attachment style will try to do things to get out of that feeling. And even if you have somebody that's young and they're dating and they have a disorganized attachment style and they are triggered into that anxious state, they're not going to like it. They may act out if they are attaching to a man that they really, really like, but they're gonna feel embarrassed or ashamed. Let's say that they give into it and call somebody 30 times in a row. That's extreme, but I can bet you anything that some disorganized attachment styles have done things like that. They're going to feel really awful about having to do that. They just want that anxiousness to go away, and they feel better when they connect to the person that they are bonding with. But they are more than likely going to activate their avoidant side so that they can take a break from feeling that awful, clingy, needy anxiety. But there's a part of that that's a normal part of bonding and connecting with a man, somebody that you're interested in. What if they didn't have that at all? If they didn't have that at all, they probably wouldn't connect or bond with any man because they just wouldn't feel the need to. But everybody would be friend zoned because, like I said, a big clue that they like you is there is at least a little bit of needy, clingy that gets activated. And how well they control that, they have to learn things that they can do. This organized attachment style needs to tap into that avoidant side in order to feel okay again, to find their peace. They may even say, you know what, I'm done, or I can't deal with this anymore, and they just turn the off switch, where it's kind of like they're telling themselves, I'm not interested in him anymore. I don't care if he never calls me again. I don't care if I didn't have to see him at work, I could probably just let him go altogether. So they tap into that in order to feel better again, and that can mean telling themselves things like, I'm just not going to think about him anymore. I'm going to give myself a break. I'm not thinking about him. I don't care. At least I don't have to be connecting with someone right now. I can do whatever I want. I haven't heard from him. I haven't talked to him. And I'm going to be okay with that. I'm going to do my own thing and pretend he doesn't exist. So they can learn to turn that dial off. Whereas somebody who only has an anxious attachment style may have difficulty because they can never turn it off. But avoidance, they're kind of lucky in that way. I don't know if it should be called lucky because it's a frustrating, confusing cycle. Meanwhile, the guy might be like, okay, well, I'm sturdy and steady, so what's going on here? But disorganized attachment style is not sturdy and stable. They are constantly seeking stability. They don't know how to keep it activated on a steady playing field. They're always questioning the ups, the downs, the push, the pulls. They don't have a good sense of what they do sometimes, of what is stability. What does that look like? How do I act? When is it okay to come close? When should I push away? Should I ever push away? Will he lose interest in me if I'm always close? So do I need to step back so that he'll keep liking me? They don't really know how to balance it, and so it can send confusing messages to the other person. Fearful avoidants have enormous pride. They are very driven by that. So they want to seem in control and okay. That quote unquote needy, clingy side is as biological for them as a man who needs you know what. Because I've heard men say that it's like a nagging, it's like a tapping on the shoulder. And for a disorganized attachment female, it's sort of the same thing. It's like this nagging to attach. Like, I have to attach, I have to bond, I have to connect to you, I need to be around you, I need to see you. I need that connection in order to feel safe again, in order to feel stable, in order to feel even keel. Like, okay, I'm okay, this feels good. I'm not irritated and frustrated and confused. All that energy gets quieted down when they are connecting to a love interest. Is this making sense? And can you relate to this if you're a disorganized attachment style, and have you experienced this type of energy from someone who's a fearful avoidant attachment style? Let us know in the comments, because I'm figuring this stuff out as I go. So I am not completely 100% sure that I know what I'm talking about, but I feel like I do. So you can give me your feedback. And if you've had issues, you might also want to check out my book, Flip the Script on Love, where I address different aspects of love to try to help you to heal and to have the best love life possible. And also, I wrote a book called The Workplace NaRCISSiST about a very elite style of narcissist. So you want to check that out. And I also wrote a book called From ENFJ with Love, all about the Myers-Briggs personality types. And there's a description for each one that I think you'll really enjoy. So like this video, let me know what other topics you want me to explore as it relates to disorganized attachment style, and be sure to subscribe as I'm on this new journey, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.